Alright, hello guys. I'm back. I know I've been gone for a couple of days, but there's really been nothing going on in the market, and I've been waiting for a setup, something to show you. Or if there was trouble, I'd be back. But there's no really thesis has changed. But we're gonna be giving an update on the spy real quick. So what we have seen, right, when we talked about the spy was, everybody was talking about this level, the main level. Well, it's gonna hit this and go back down like it always has, and you have good reason for that. There's good reason to believe that, definitely, but there's always a possibility. So we saw something on the SVXY that was like a little indication of a possible run, right? And that was at 6314 level. So, we talked about it going up to the 420s, 430s. Now we got up to the 418s, 419s, so very close, very close. Now, is it done? Right? So, based off of this, and remember that 406.83 level we talked about? I said it'd be funny if it breaks out and then at one point comes down, tests it, and then keeps going. I think we're going to get a chance to see if that's going to happen or not. What do I think is going to happen? I think that is actually going to keep going. But, you react to the market, you never predict it. But for this little theory I've been testing on the SVXY special indicator, um, you still have chances of it going up. Now, this little thing that I draw, this pattern that I draw, it probably is not even a pattern. Like, it's really, really ugly. But I had to see something. I had to give you something. What do I see? It was hard to tell. All I know is that when you have patterns, if this is a pattern, and they look this ugly, whenever they do have their move, um, just in my experience, that's when they have the most crazy move. Now the move could be up or it could be down. You break this thing going down, the move is down. Break it going up, the move is up. And when I say most explosive, that just means the time that it takes to do that move. So, but I do think that you're, like that 406.83 level, you're about to hit this and go back up, right? So let's look at some indicators here. Let's see what we're looking at. Stochastics are low. Looks like there's no sign of reversal, right? RSI looks like you can have a sign of reversal, but the CCI is telling me no. It's negative 181. They could have a serious move on the 1 hour. On the daily, I'm getting CCI is still green. It was still good to go, right? Stochastics is up at the hot level, right? But still, it's got room for down. It's got room for down. This MACD is looking like it's about to break to the red and give us a little bit downturn. And what this basically does is, like, every time these things converge, when the lines come together and flip, like from green to red, this basically tells you the trend that it's going to be in. So red means bear trend, means it's going down. Green means uptrend, and this is going up. So red to green, bull. Green to red, bear, right? Possibility. Now, you don't jump into this yet. You need a confirmation, like a little red dot confirmation. And I've even seen them flip. Remember this? Look, red, red. Oh no, just kidding. It could happen. Let's see on the weekly. Nothing. Monthly. On the weekly, you could have a little pattern working out right here that it just broke out of, and it could be coming down to test it and then keep going. Interesting. Monthly, the chance of it flipping green. So it's still like it's not for sure gonna go down. It's basically what I'm trying to get at. Like you for sure don't have a real legit reason for this to go down yet. So let's check out the dollar. So the level that we talked about in the dollar is the 102 range. Whenever it's below 102, that's typically when it's a the spy in the market has a good chance of running. When it's 102 and with the rest of those other indicators. Excuse me. So now one thing I have noticed, and I've only been watching the DXY, the dollar, for about 8-9 months now. But what I've noticed is that it has these very violent moves, right? Like it's 50 to 80 to 90 cent moves, and that can happen overnight. So everybody's thinking that the dollar just had this rip back up to 103. It's about to go crazy. The market's gonna crash. When in reality, this is nothing. Like, if you want the spy to be dangerous, or the market to be in, it's about to free fall, you need this dollar to be at 110s, which I think that we're gonna get to. But that's another conversation. But for right now, I think you're getting this little move right here because just like you heard today, somebody had put like a bullish or a very big bearish bet on the market. They like a big giant, like a lot of money on a put option, on put options for the SPY, and that sent this dollar flying along. It could be rate hike, it could be a whole lot of things that made this thing pop up. But normally, what it is in this environment of Wall Street, um, they use this to manipulate the market along with the VIX. We're gonna check that out too. But they're getting in right here where it's cheaper for it to go down, either writing the dollar down or writing the market up. But I do think that this dollar is gonna have this move play out down to the 90s, down to the $90 range. I think it's just gonna take probably a couple days, if that, to get back down there. CPI is coming out. Everybody thinks it's gonna be hot, and all I'm gonna tell you is that CPI is a lagging indicator, and I say lagging with air parenthesis quotes because it normally just lags in their favor, right? That never really tells you what is actually going on. It's just used. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't come in hot sometimes, but all the times that it came in hot, it's like 2 points, point two. It's nothing. It's not as hot as it's supposed to be right now. Let's just say that. I think they're actually going to use the CPI numbers to be like to give you just give the market a little bit more green. So let's just say that. Okay, so the next thing we check out SVXY, which is my main indicator I've used for this move, is at 63.14. Okay, and the theory goes SVXY above the 63.14 level gives the SPY and everything else room to run. It's like a gate, right? So what you're seeing right now it's getting close to that 63.14, but it's not. It's still there. So we're still in go zone, but it can come back down. And you're looking at it right now, and you're thinking, oh, it's looking like it's about to, come back down and hit that thing. Something I've noticed is about when things break out of big resistance levels, they break out and they usually come back down, test it, and keep going or fall through. Now, when you look at this one, right, you could be saying, oh, this is that time where it came back, tested, and kept running. This is it. Possibility, true, but I don't think so. Okay, and reason to believe all these levels show me, first of all, this shows me no sign of reversal, so that is, it could be concerning, but it also tells me that there's more room, that it's more bottomed out than this going up. And you can obviously tell that I'm picking the bull side of this because I do believe that the market is going to keep running. But like I said, if I don't predict it, I just react to it. So whatever it does is how I'm going to play it. And this is paper trading purposes only, right? No, not financial advice. But if it was me, I'd be watching for a play for this stuff to continue going. I don't see a legitimate thing yet. I mean, it looks so convincing that it is bearish, but I haven't seen any indication that this is definitely confirmed bearish. Like, there's no reason to be in there other than just because you think it's going to go down. There's no reason to play it down other than that reason. You look at the VIX, the VIX is playing a dangerous game. Okay, so it basically looks like this. I think I got it in a pattern. I'm sure you can get it from up here, down here somewhere, but for the most part, this is where it's at. Okay, so you're looking at this and you're like, oh, you got so much more room to go up there. True, you really do. But on the flip side, it's close to hitting that, breaking out, and then you're talking about seeing a VIX at 10, 15, $14. Now, is that a possibility? I've never seen it. I'm sure somebody has seen it at one point, but I I don't know if you're gonna get all of that, but I don't think that this thing is going to cause you any harm. This went up too because of, again, somebody put a bearish bet, a huge bearish bet in puts on the spot. So you get a spike up 5% for that. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you see the indications of about to be convergence, about to go CCI almost at zero, but not at zero. In the CCI, basically, it's just like this down here. CCI above zero plus, you're probably going to get something to run. CCI below zero and negative, you're probably going to get something to go down. It's more. I use it more for continuation more than anything, or my final check mark for when I'm about to enter something. So that's what I see with the VIX and the SPY, guys. See it keep going green. We're at 10 minutes, so I'm gonna let's see. Okay, we'll go through a couple of them real quick. So, regardless of the SPY going up or down, these plays that I'm talking about, I think they can run in any environment. And again, the first one is GNS. We talked about this before at like $2. Where it's at right now, it looks bad, but it actually hit a nice little 563, our little entry point or exit point that we had set up, like a little resistance line that I see it going through. So right now, I'm thinking it bounced off of that a little bit, closed right there. I actually wanted to show you something that I do see to make it, as a continuation. The monthly looks interesting, right? There's nothing else here. This is a crap indicator, but it's something to look at because, that's very interesting to see that like that. This over 638 gives you a continuation. It's probably going to turn that green, a close over 638 on the monthly. Very interesting to watch. On the 1 hour, the stochastics are the main thing that kicks out to me. These tell you when I use them, a trend before it happens. Normally, before all these pick it up, the stochastics picks up the trend first. The RSI lets you know, look, bottom, probably going up. You're probably gonna hit. You want a reversal, cross that mark again, keep going. And you want the CCI is like your middle. It's like tied with the MACD. You probably get the MACD to flip green, and then the CCI would be last, a little lagging beyond all the rest. But that one tells you, okay, we're going this way, and it's already at negative 63. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that's nowhere near close to zero. It's very close when you talk about these meme stocks because they run, or I can't even say meme stocks, shorted stocks. Okay, that's 10% in a day. That's a lot. Okay, that's enough to flip this back in the positive. If it was 10% up, either way, I'd watch this stock. Above 713 is where I would get in with my paper trading money, right? But 638 is also another level, key level. 638, you're probably gonna get like it running, and then if you get a close below above 713, that's gonna be interesting. The next one up is going to be this is I'll just add this last one, and I'll give you guys updates on AMC and GME tomorrow during the day because those are going to be interesting to watch in these next 2 weeks coming up. But Ctxr, right? This is the one I like. Everything that's been happening in the market, sideways trading, even going down a little bit, this thing has been green, or still continuing. And what do I see here? This is a short stock, right? And then I think that it's going to have some news. The charts normally tell you when something's going to happen before it happens. But what I'm seeing out of this is that it's trading in this little pattern, this little triangle pattern. And yes, it could break to the downside, right? If it breaks to the downside, move. Just flip that. Moves down there to $1, But if it flips up, you're talking about hitting this 184 level. And that's interesting because that's my level for this right here, right? For back up here. Because what I think is going to happen is, one, I think it's going to break out of that. Okay, and then it's going to break out of this big giant triangle, but we'll look at that last. But it's going to break up to this 184. What I think is going to happen is going to hit 184. It's going to come down probably around here, probably back down to 150s, then bounce back up to 184 and then break out. And what that is going to shape up is going to be an inverted head and shoulder. So left shoulder, head, and then that little move is going to make the right shoulder. And that move is going to put you up at the $2.59 range, which clears those checks. But okay, so the bigger thing that you guys are looking at, that triangle, you're like, oh, there's no way. Trust me, there's a triangle that goes back. You probably get this bad boy in there too, but I just thought that was a little bit too much. This feels lucrative. I haven't even put the move out there that this would make if it broke out of that triangle, just because I don't want to pump anybody up for that. Puts in their whole life savings to that. It's not something. It's not good risk management. But I do see this. I think this is like my A1 stock for the next 2 weeks. Besides, GNS is up there, but it has to pass those levels first. But as far as potential from where it's at, the price it is to get in, it's definitely Ctxr. Okay, guys, so I hope that you like this video. I will put out, like I said, I'm going to put out probably 3 or 4 videos for you guys tomorrow, quick ones, breaking down, AMC and GME, what do I see, Foxo, we're going to talk about, we could talk about HLBZ, we can talk about CORQZ, we could talk about I'm going to have a whole lineup for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed the SPY update. Happy trading.